Hello to all of you and very good afternoon. Today my topic is lung function test. Now what is lung function test? There are different tests are designed to evaluate the individual's respiratory activity for the clinical purposes. So the commonest of them are the test for quantifying the efficiency of ventilation, gaseous exchange, regulation, and for the fitness. So the different types of tests are done to evaluate the individual's respiratory activity for the clinical purposes. So the assessment of the type and degree of functional impairment caused by different diseases as may be important in diagnosis, management, and prognosis of some of the pulmonary disorders. Though some pulmonary function tests require the sophisticated equipment, but the most of them are simple and non-invasive and non-expensive. Now come to the classification. The pulmonary function tests are done for the assessment of ventilation, gaseous exchange, regulation, and for the fitness purposes. The first, for the assessment of ventilation, the different types of tests are done. In these groups, the first comes the lung volume. The lung volume and the capacities. The lung volume include the tidal volume, respiratory reserve volume, expiratory reserve volume, residual volume, and capacity are the vital capacity, inspiratory capacity, functional residual capacity, and total lung capacity. These all are taught in the previous classes. Mechanics of breathing include the time vital capacity, maximum mid expiratory flow rate, maximum voluntary ventilation, peak expiratory flow rate, flow volume curve, closing volume, maximum expiratory pressure, and maximum inspiratory pressure. For the assessment of gaseous exchange, we are doing assessment of ventilation perfusion matching, assessment of diffusion capacity, and determination of the arterial blood gases. Third comes assessment of pulmonary blood flow and pressure. Now come to the uses. What is the use of these different types of tests that we are doing? First, the pulmonary function test help in diagnosis of respiratory dysfunction, monitoring the progress of the disease. Third comes evaluating the efficiency of treatment. Next comes assessing the health status of the person prior to recruitment to military or the police services, determining the efficacy of physical training. Next comes the studying the prevalence of respiratory diseases in community or the respiratory industrial hazards, assessing the respiratory fitness of the patient for general anesthesia prior to any surgery, and it has got medical legal cases to decide the fitness or degree of compensation. The normal value already taught, different types of normal value of the capacity and the lung volumes, tidal volume, inspiratory reserve volume, these are all taught in previous classes. Capacities सारे हो गए हैं. So comes the abnormality of the ventilation. There are two patterns of ventilatory abnormality. First is restrictive and second is obstructive patterns. So what are the features of obstructive disease? Total lung capacity is normal or increase. Reserve volume elevated due to the trapping of air during the expiration. Ratio of reserve volume to total lung capacity is increased. Vital capacity is frequently decreased. FEV1 is less than 80%. FEV1 by FVC decrease. Come to the what is the features of restrictive disease. There is decreased total lung capacity, decreased vital capacity, and decreased reserve volume. So these are the list of the common obstructive and restrictive disease. In obstructive disease comes asthma, COPD, bronchiectasis, and cystic fibrosis. In restrictive disease comes the parenchymal restrictive disease, pulmonary fibrosis, pneumoconiosis, radiation-induced interstitial lung disease, and extraparenchymal restrictive disease. Chest wall disease, kyphoscoliosis also include in this restrictive type of disease. In neuromuscular disease comes myasthenia gravis, paralysis of diaphragm, or any type of muscular dystrophy. Obesity also comes in restrictive disease. These details are not necessary. Now come to the assessment of gas exchange. That is ventilation perfusion relationship. The uniformity of the distribution of the inspired air is measured by nitrogen-Bossert method. The perfusion is also not uniform erect posture due to the effect of gravity. The normal ventilation perfusion ratio is 0.8, but the greater degree of the non-uniform perfusion occurs in disease like the pulmonary embolism and the disease that destroy the lung tissue. The arterial blood gas tension is primarily affected by the relationship of the ventilation with the perfusion. The alteration in ventilation perfusion ratio mainly affect the partial pressure of O2 than the partial pressure of CO2. Now come to the diffusion. Diffusion is a physical process by which the gas moves across the membrane from the region of higher partial pressure to the region of lower partial pressure. As you all know, in lung the oxygen moves from the alveoli to the pulmonary capillary to combine with the hemoglobin. Similarly, the carbon dioxide move in the opposite direction. So the diffusion capacity of CO2 is 20 times more than that of O2. Therefore, the diffusion problem usually do not produces carbon dioxide retention. So the measurement of the arterial blood gas tension is essential in evaluating of the pulmonary function. The condition that decreases the pulmonary diffusing capacity when the total surface area of the alveolar capillary membrane is reduced in disease like emphysema, pulmonary embolism, thrombosis of the pulmonary capillary, and following the surgical removal of the lung tissue. Second one, there is defect in alveolar capillary membrane, that is when there is thickening of the membrane as seen in asbestosis, sarcoidosis, progressive systemic sclerosis, collagen disease, interstitial edema, interstitial fibrosis, and diffuse metastatic lesion of the lung. Third comes increase in pulmonary diffusion capacity in exercise. Next comes the gas sampling and analysis. Sampling of the alveolar air is performed by two methods. First one is Halden-Priestley method and second one is Rons-Otis method. Sampling of the expired air is done by Douglas bag, and this bag is used for this purpose. There is two-way valve fixed to the Douglas valve and then connected to the mouth of the subject. The respiratory gas analysis. The sample of the inspired air are taken for the analysis of partial pressure of the oxygen, carbon dioxide, and nitrogen. The gas analyzer are available to give the partial pressure of the different gases. The gas oxygen content of the blood is determined by the Halden's gas analyzer, and the venous blood is collected and sent for the analysis. The oxygen carrying capacity of the blood is estimated by von Schleicher gasometric method. Assessment of pulmonary circulation done by pulmonary blood flow and pressure. Measurement of pressure, vascular resistance, blood volume, and distribution of the blood flow in the pulmonary and the systematic circuits help in detecting veno-arterial shunt, vascular occlusion, and the decreased pulmonary capillary volume. Come to the assessment of the pulmonary blood flow. The assessment of the pulmonary circulation depends upon the measuring the pulmonary vascular pressure and the cardiac output. These measurements are usually done in intensive care units with the facilities of invasive monitoring. Disturbance in pulmonary circulation. Pulmonary venous resistance increased by the 4 different mechanisms. First, pulmonary vasoconstriction, pulmonary thromboembolism, vascular hypertrophy, and pulmonary injury. Conditions that increase the pulmonary vascular resistance are heart disease and the lung disease. Different type of lung disease that increases this resistance: COPD, interstitial lung disease, chest wall disease, obesity, hypoventilation, and sleep apnea syndrome. Respiratory causes of the hypoxemia. Classified into respiratory and non-respiratory. Respiratory dysfunction is the most common type of hypoxemia in adults, and the non-respiratory causes include the anemia, carbon monoxide poisoning, and decreased inspired oxygen tension as occur in high altitude. The respiratory causes of hypoxemia may be due to regional hypoventilation, occlusion of the major artery of the lungs, shunts, generalized hypoventilation, and diffusion block. What is diffusion block? The infrequent causes of hypoxemia is a diffusion block, and this occurs when the diffusion disturbance across the alveolar capillary membrane is increased or the permeability of the alveolar capillary membrane is decreased. It is characterized by low partial pressure O2, high oil gradient, and the high partial pressure of CO2. Pulmonary edema is among the commonest causes of diffusion block. So this is all about the different type of pulmonary function test. Which are designed to evaluate the individual's respiratory activity for the clinical purposes. Most of them are simple and done for the evaluation of the respiratory system of any individual. So this is all about the pulmonary function test. Thank you.